You know that feeling when you walk into a room and completely forget why you're there? Or maybe you've had that awkward moment where you introduce yourself to someone you've definitely met before. Yeah, if you're over 40, you're probably nodding along right now. But what if I told you that a sharper, more focused mind isn't just something you have to look back on? Well, let's get into it. So let's start with a number that might kind of grab your attention. 5%. That's how much brain volume you could potentially lose every single decade after you turn 40. So yeah, that feeling of misplacing your keys, it's not just in your head. Well, actually, it is in your brain. But hey, don't worry, because understanding this is the very first step to taking back control.
So what does that 5% really mean in practice? Well, think of your brain as a super busy city. That 5% loss is like a few of the main highways getting all jammed up. The traffic, your thoughts, your memories, it all starts to slow down. And the delivery trucks carrying essential stuff like oxygen have harder time getting where they need to go. And that's why focus can feel so different as we get older.
Okay, so the big question is, why does this happen? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine, right? Because when you understand the why, you get the power to change the what. This slide really breaks it down for us. There are three main culprits behind that fading focus. First, you've got dopamine. That's the get-up-and-go chemical. As we age, we have fewer places for it to dock, which makes it harder to feel motivated. Then there's acetylcholine, the brain's focus chemical. Our body just starts making less of it. It's kind of like trying to tune into a radio station with a really weak signal. And finally, the prefrontal cortex, the CEO of our brain. It just starts to get a little more easily overwhelmed. It's kind of the perfect storm for a fuzzy memory. I know. That all sounds a little doom and gloom, right? But listen, here is the most important thing I want you to get from all of this. This is not a one-way street. Your brain is not just destined for decline. You absolutely have the power to support it, to build new pathways, and to sharpen your focus. So let's talk about how we do that. We're going to put together a toolkit. It's got 5 super powerful, really practical techniques. Think of these as your daily workout for a stronger, more resilient brain. Let's get started. Okay, our first tool is a really simple but incredibly powerful yogic practice called Tratak. You know that feeling when your mind is just jumping all over the place, like a pinball machine? Well, this practice, it's like the off switch. It is the ultimate focusing exercise. So how in the world does just staring at a single point help your memory? Well, it's like a workout for your attention muscle. You're literally training your brain to ignore all the distractions and just stay focused. And as you know, a focused mind is a mind that can actually remember things. Next up is something we do all day, every single day, but we almost never do it with any intention: breathing. We're going to talk about a simple technique called equal breathing, and it turns this totally unconscious act into a powerful tool for your brain's health. And this right here shows you just why it's so powerful. Get this, your brain is an oxygen hog. It uses almost a fifth of your body's entire supply. And yet, when we're stressed, what do? We take these little shallow breaths. This technique of slow, deep, rhythmic breathing makes sure your brain cells get all the oxygen they're craving. It calms your whole nervous system down, and it boosts your alertness. Seriously, just 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Our third technique is a gentle forward bend that you might recognize from yoga. Now, the Sanskrit name is a bit of a mouthful, I know, but its benefits are super simple and really profound. This isn't just about stretching your hamstrings. This is about tuning up your entire nervous system. Think about it. Your spine is the main information superhighway connecting your brain to the rest of your body. This forward bend gently stretches and stimulates that entire system. And that doesn't just improve circulation, it also helps to calm the mind, which makes it so much easier for your brain to do its job, processing, and most importantly, retaining information. Technique number 4, we're moving from movement to fuel. After 40, what you eat becomes so incredibly important for your cognitive health. You just can't run a high-performance engine on low-grade fuel. It's as simple as that. So what's on the menu for a happy brain? Think of it this way. Your brain is a luxury car, and it needs that premium fuel. We're talking about the good stuff. Healthy fats from walnuts, antioxidants from leafy greens to fight off stress, minerals from seeds to keep the engine running smoothly. So go ahead and load up. Your brain is going to thank you for it. And for our final tool in the main toolkit, we have to talk about sleep. Specifically, creating a calming night ritual. You can have the best brain in the world, but if you don't get quality sleep, it literally can't file away the day's memories. You see, that process of turning short-term memories into long-term ones, it's called memory consolidation, and it happens almost entirely during deep sleep. This isn't a nice to have, it is non-negotiable. If your sleep gets messed up, your memory suffers. The action plan here is really simple but super powerful. Try to have a consistent bedtime and ditch the screens for at least an hour before you turn in. You've got to protect that time.
Okay, so now you have the 5 core techniques, but I've got one more for you, a little bonus tip. It's a surprisingly simple, almost old-fashioned habit that might just be the most powerful tool of all for protecting your brain's long-term health.
Just think about it for a second. In our totally digital world, what's a simple, analog activity that engages your mind in a really unique and powerful way?
That's it, the simple act of writing with a pen and paper. And this isn't just about nostalgia. Studies actually suggest that this habit can lower your risk of developing dementia later in life. It's a powerful protector for your brain. And here's the cool science behind it. It builds something that scientists call cognitive reserve. Think of it as your brain's resilience fund. Because handwriting activates multiple parts of your brain all at the same time, motor skills, memory, language. It forces your brain to build new connections. And this makes it way more adaptable and resilient as it gets older.
And getting started is incredibly easy. Just grab a notebook. Commit to writing just 1 page every day. It does not have to be a masterpiece. Write about your day, a childhood memory, something you learned. It doesn't matter. The act itself is the workout.
So, as we wrap things up here, let's just reframe how we think about the brain after 40. It's not about decline, it's about a new chapter of conscious care.
The key message is this. Hitting 40 isn't some kind of sentence for a failing memory. It's a signal. It's an invitation to start consciously and actively supporting your brain with the right tools and habits, just like the ones we've talked about. And that's the final, powerful thought I want to leave you with. By putting these practices into play, you're not just preventing decline, you are actively building a more vibrant, resilient, and focused brain. Your sharpest decades don't have to be behind you. In fact, they could be just around the corner.